Every city you've ever walked through has round manhole covers, thousands of them, each weighing up to 130 kilograms. But why round? Not square, not rectangular, round almost everywhere on Earth. The answer comes down to one geometric principle that quietly keeps workers alive beneath the street. It all starts with what happens when the wrong shape meets an open hole. Imagine placing a square cover over a square hole. If you slide that cover slightly to the side and tilt it, something dangerous happens. The diagonal line from one corner of a square to the opposite corner is always longer than any of its flat sides. Because that diagonal is longer, the cover can easily tip, turn sideways, and slip straight down into the opening. Now, look at a circle. A circle is a curve of constant width. This means that no matter how you turn it, rotate it, or spin it, the distance from one side to the other is always exactly the same. If the cover is 60 centimeters across, every single line passing through its center is also exactly 60 centimeters. The width remains completely uniform. It never changes. Because a circular cover is designed to be slightly wider than the rim of the hole it sits on, there is no physical way to position it to fall through. You can turn it sideways, spin it, or try to slide it in at an angle, but it will always rest safely on the ledge of the opening. It is a simple law of geometry. A circle cannot fit through a space smaller than its own unchanging width, keeping the ground beneath our feet secure. This difference in shape is more than a simple geometry puzzle. In the real world, it directly affects the safety of the people working below our streets. When a square cover is rotated, its effective width changes. If it is turned just the right way, the smaller sides can easily align with the wider diagonal opening of the frame. In that exact moment, the cover loses its support and can drop. Below the surface, utility workers are often squeezed into tight, deep shafts, unable to move out of the way quickly. Directly above their heads sits a massive block of solid cast iron. A typical street cover weighs between 90 and 130 kilograms, which is about 200 to 290 pounds. If a cover of that weight slips from its frame, gravity turns it into a falling wedge. An iron object of that weight falling from street level can cause severe injuries or easily crush a worker. Because these crews must regularly lift, slide, and shift covers to access underground power lines and water pipes, the risk of a slip is constant. A simple mistake during maintenance or even a heavy truck driving over an unstable lid could rotate a square cover just enough to send it plunging down. The circular design completely removes this danger. Because its width never changes, a round cover simply cannot fall through its own opening, no matter how it is turned or dropped. The shape itself acts as a permanent physical safety net, protecting the people who keep our cities running. With a weight of 90 to 130 kilograms, or 200 to 290 pounds, simply moving these heavy metal discs is a major physical challenge. For utility workers on the street, the daily task of opening and closing access shafts requires serious physical effort. This is where the circular shape does some of its most practical work before it even rests on the frame. Because the cover is round, a single worker can easily tip it onto its edge and roll it down the street like a wheel. It takes very little effort to guide a heavy rolling object compared to lifting its entire weight. If manhole covers were square, this simple trick would be impossible. Moving a square slab of the same weight would require at least 2 workers to lift and carry it, or require heavy lifting machinery. The corners would catch on the ground, making it impossible to slide or roll. By choosing a circle, cities made sure that a single worker can safely roll a massive piece of iron exactly where it needs to go, saving time and preventing serious back injuries. In the United Kingdom, square and rectangular covers have been used for low-risk drainage openings for over 150 years. These shapes also appear in sidewalks, pedestrian zones, and cable chambers across Europe and China. Under the European safety standard, known as EN124, cities can officially use square designs in areas where heavy vehicle traffic is not allowed. Because these openings are often smaller than the cover's diagonal length, the risk of a lid falling through is very low. Manufacturers even produce lightweight square composite covers specifically for these quiet areas. This shows that infrastructure design is not about finding one perfect shape for everything. Instead, cities choose the exact shape needed for the specific job at hand. During the 1800s, as cities built massive underground pipe networks, the round cover became the global standard. This happened largely because of how foundries made iron. Foundry workers poured liquid iron into molds made of tightly packed sand. Making a circular mold in sand was simple and reliable, requiring only one piece. A square mold was much more difficult to cast because corners could easily crack or cool unevenly. Round shapes allowed the hot iron to flow smoothly and cool at a uniform rate. Early patents showed how easy it was to fit a round cover into a matching circular frame. Because these simple sand molds could be reused thousands of times, manufacturers could mass-produce identical covers quickly and cheaply. What started as a practical choice for the foundry soon became a permanent fixture on city streets. As cities laid down thousands of miles of paved roads, these circular openings became permanent anchors in the asphalt. Once a street was built around a round frame, changing the shape of the cover was no longer just about the iron disc itself. It meant tearing up the surrounding roadbed. City engineers began writing this circular shape directly into official municipal design codes. The round cover was no longer just a convenient product from a local foundry. It was now a fundamental part of the entire underground system. Every new pipe, sewer shaft, utility conduit, and street layout was designed to match the existing circular standard. The infrastructure itself locked the shape into place, turning a simple manufacturing habit into a permanent institutional standard that continues to shape our streets today. The surface of a manhole cover is rarely flat. It is covered in a raised grid of ridges, diamonds, or custom patterns. These designs are not there for decoration. When rain or oil makes the metal wet, a smooth iron disc would become incredibly slick for car tires and pedestrians. The raised patterns act like the tread on a tire, biting into rubber soles and wheels to prevent dangerous slips. Placeholder, worker interview clip. These patterns also help with the vibration of city life. Underneath the lid, matching metal ribs add structural strength. This allows the cover to be thinner and lighter while still supporting massive weight. When a heavy truck drives over the textured surface, the ribs on the bottom, sometimes paired with quiet rubber rings, absorb the impact. This dampens the loud metallic rattle that would otherwise echo down the street every time a car passes by. Next time you step over a manhole cover, remember the brilliant geometry quietly working right beneath your feet. The best design is often the kind we walk right past without ever noticing. Subscribe for more stories about the hidden world around us.